Hello fellow Tarkov players. Before I start, I wanted to say that this is my opinion, and you could even call it a rant. But get this video isn't about me as a player. I'm not here to show any kind of a skill, nothing. I'm a noob, I'm good, I'm fucking shroud disguised. Who the fuck cares? And no, I don't want this game to change anything more than what I'm going to discuss here. And before you leave a dislike and go to the comment section and start to...
This is not CSGO lolololololo learn to play knob.
And sorry if my English is also not the best, because English is not my first language. Now, let's begin, shall we? Okay, for those who don't know, and I'm going to explain it as quick as possible, in Tarkov, when you wear gear, ergonomics, or by the raw skills and stats of your character, your sensitivity might change depending on the value of the penalty that you may have. This value can make your sensitivity both be higher or lower. There's also the ADS sensitivity for the medium-long range scopes, which is all over the place and is as inconsistent as the assumed value it is set on. Now, why the fuck this bothers me so fucking much? I bet most of you know what is mouse acceleration, yet you all tried to disable it. Got through the box fix to change the registry to make sure not a single value of acceleration was going on in the background to get the best mouse input as possible when gaming. This isn't done to not get our sensitivity get accelerated by Windows. Because of the acceleration of Windows, when you do a slow swipe, it will translate it as a fast swipe, and a fast swipe into a slow swipe. This is an accuracy killer in any FPS game, because when you move your mouse from A to B, the distance will translate into other value with each swipe, making it very unreliable. Now, I truly can't get this even though after grinding this down it makes no fucking sense to me how the community of Tarkov actually embraces de-acceleration, because this is basically what the game purposely does to your sensitivity, to make you feel the fact that you're wearing armor, that you're heavier, that you're slower in both movement and turning sensitivity. In paper, this would make sense because our character is heavier, thus if we wore armor IRL, we would be slower, but we are moving a character with a mouse, where everyone has different values and distances, which will make this faster or slower. The fact that this game changes the sensitivity is broken in a way that you can reliably turn your character, knowing how much distance you have to move your mouse, and only adds for inconsistency. The game purposely does want to ruin your muscle memory in game. The problem in a nutshell is that you lose the track of how to operate in a 360-degree movement with the mouse. Muscle memory is important because even if you wear armor IRL, you look left and right, and let's say for example you wanted to look a corner ASAP. You look right to the spot, the distance you had to move your head was the same as if you weren't wearing armor at all. It was only slower because you have added weight into it. What I'm trying to say is that it is still a 360-degree angle we humans look and move around, and because wearing armor doesn't make it so there is less of degrees we can look and move around, it's only slower because we have added weight into it. Changing the sensitivity only breaks your aim to adapt to a new value of sensitivity which is no longer based on your original 360-degree turn. So your degrees to move have been changed, and what it was before X centimeters to do a 360, now it's X centimeters to do a 310 for example, breaking the space of your movement and messing up badly with your brain. It isn't the fact that it's slower because of the added weight, it is just a messy pool game designed for an realistic way to kind of make you feel the fact that you're wearing something, and in exchange you break how to operate in a different value of degrees every time. I must say that I bought the game by myself, but got introduced to it through a friend. He showed me the basics, I did my first raids with him, and he really helped me a lot to get the mechanics and to understand how to survive by myself. He was a true Chad of Tarkov, a guy that killed M4 Supra fought guys with a PM shooting to the chest. But before he started playing Tarkov, he played Battlefield 4, Call of Duty, and he played competitively Team Fortress 2 back in his good old days. You may ask, why the fuck is this guy telling me this bullshit about this delusional fucking chat boy for which I don't give a shit? Because when he got into the game, he didn't even notice that a feature like this was going on, because his sensitivity is 7 centimeters to do a 360-degree turn. To clarify, that's a fucking lot, at least from my perspective. When he was geared, he moved like a fucking bull on coke, ramming everyone with his AK. This is because he played a lot, and he got his character skills leveled a lot, and moving with his character naked feels like playing the fucking Doom guy. But he could sprint, move quick and all that also because he had the chat sensitivity. What the fuck? How is this related with mouse sensitivity at all? Well, because his sensitivity was about 7 centimeters and he never really even bothered with changing it. He basically converted his sense from TF2 and he thought it was good to go. And now, the real problem in a nutshell is that this fucks and punishes more the low sensitivity guys. Why? Because with the penalties being so severe, sometimes the low sensitivity boys can't even turn around with high tier armor, whereas people like my friend with high sensitivity, they will just not give an absolute shit. And no, if you have high sensitivity and you enjoy it, it's perfectly fine. Everyone's sensitivity is fine. But this game And the whole community has said this. Embraces more the high sense people.
To you. But you see my point. If you're a high sensitivity player, these problems aren't going to affect you that much. But if you're a low sensitivity player, they really punish you.
But wait, there's even more! What if I told you that literally this mechanic is useless and it only gets on the way when you play? Okay, every time you get into a raid, you just get a ruler. You measure the original centimeters you have to do for a 360. You get into a raid, and in a minute or so, voila, you're good to go. If you don't have a ruler, then use this calculator and use what you learn in math class to not give a single fuck about this mechanic. It's like if I played CSGO with the default sensitivity being 2.5, which it is, and started around, sense gets reduced because I bought armor and a helmet, let's say 0.3. Set the sensitivity to 2.8, and wow, that was difficult as hell. People commented me on my last Reddit post that, for example, professional drivers, they drive lots of cars, they have to be more polyvalent, and with every car being different, what muscle memory gets into it? And the example of IRL soldiers training with their armor and blah blah blah. The thing is that they quote that this mechanic is indeed legit because of the added weight, and to get more into the immersion, and because if this wasn't in the game, everyone will be playing the freak of the wrist game. First of all, fuck off for the reasons I have explained before. It has been proved many times, and most of you who have played Tarkov have done at least one flick of the wrist. And it's not like professional drivers know the distance they have to move the wheel. It's not like you pick up a car and you have to move the wheel 12 times to turn left, because it has a penalty in turning because the car is heavy as shit. More variables get into when driving the car. The speed, weight, distribution. The handling might be different in different transmission cars, and how they behave in different transmission cars. I don't want to get technical because I'm not talking about Assetto Corsa, but the distance they move the wheel remains the same. Or if I wore armor IRL and I said, yeah, let's do an 80-degree turn, jumping. I jump and it's not like a random variable gets into the way. It might jump and suddenly I don't know how much distance I have to do to even turn around. Okay, I might not get it because I'm heavy as shit. And jumping with super heavy shit, it's hard. But I know how much distance it is, it's just turning back. What I'm trying to explain is, if in Tarkov this penalty changes the sensitivity and breaks all muscle memory on its way, it only makes it so when your brain knew how to do a 360, it now might have become a 410. And because everyone has different values, the perception of the distance changes, and our brain just gets conflicted with a new way of how to turn and has to improvise, whereas in the game, the child still moves at a 360-degree turn.
So, please Nikita, stop messing with my aim, and make a good game.